These are 8 secrets that I promise will help you run the ball way more effectively. My name is Spruce, and I run the #1 college football and Madden coaching site where I help over 1,000 active members win more games. Running the ball is not easy this year, but once you implement these 8 tips, you'll be turning 2-yard runs into touchdowns. So if that sounds good to you, then let's get started. So starting off at number 1, this is how you can see your team's run blocking assignments before the snap. If you want to run the ball effectively in college football 26, this might be the single most important tip you will ever learn. If you hold down the left trigger or L2 and then point and hold your right stick straight to the left, it will show you the run blocking assignments for every single player on offense. And based on those assignments, you may say it looks good and snap the ball. You may say, I need to use some motion to get better blocking assignments. Or you may say, I need to just audible to an entirely different play. Right here, it looks like everyone in the box is going to get blocked. Sure, there's a safety on the left side who is not blocked right now, but if we're getting to the second level, we'll happily take that. So if we go ahead and snap this ball, we will see that we get really good blocking, we get a really solid gain, and that is an awesome result for us. Now I have the defense here in random defense, so we're gonna get different looks every single time. And so right here, this once again looks pretty good. That left side safety, just like we saw in the first play, is not blocked once again, but we'll take that, and sure enough, we get another solid game. But if you run through enough random defenses, you'll start to get situations like this where you don't have ideal run blocking. And so the thing that stands out to me here is going to be the left side slot cornerback. He is supposed to be blocked by our solo receiver on the left side, but as you can see, that receiver does not have good leverage in order to block that slot cornerback. If we were to just go ahead and snap this ball, that slot cornerback probably runs in and makes the tackle at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage because that receiver simply cannot get over to him in time to make that block. And so in this case, the very simple solution would be to take our solo receiver and just motion him over. And now he is perfectly squared up to that slot cornerback. And now when we snap the ball, he's going to make a really solid block for us, and we can get a run into the second level. This is so crucial, guys, because without looking at your run blocking assignments, little things like this, you'll never realize. This right here made all the difference between the run going for no gain and a huge gain because we actually blocked this slot cornerback. You can see that if he wasn't blocked, that slot cornerback would be in the running lane tackling us for no gain. But instead, we got a really solid, what was that, 12, 13-yard gain or something. And so looking at the run blocking assignments really does make all the difference. And so please, whenever you're going to run the ball, hold down the left trigger or L2, point your right stick straight to the left, and look at the run blocking assignments and make adjustments. Use motions, do whatever you have to do to make sure that all the guys in the box who would be a threat to blow up your run play are going to get blocked. And as long as you do that, you will start running the ball 10 times more effectively. Now moving on to number 2, inside zones are by far the best shotgun run plays. It doesn't matter what formation you're in, inside zones get the best handoff animations and the best blocking, and you will always be able to find an open running lane, unless your opponent is of course just stacking the box, and then you should probably pass or something. But right here, I'm in the formation gun bunch open offset with the inside zone in this formation. This is in our free Alabama offense game plan on PlaybookProfessor.gg. And I absolutely love how fast the handoff animation is. I love the blocking, and it feels like it's always good for at least 5 or 6 yards as long as there is even a little bit of space at the snap, like you're looking at the defenders in the box. And if it all goes well, you can even take it for a touchdown. But the reason I'm doing this tip, guys, is because EA puts a lot of runs in the game to distract you, especially things like counters, things like power O's. Duo can be okay. The crack toss is usually not very good. Power O's not very good. There's a lot of shotgun run plays in the game to distract you. When we look at counter right here, 9 times out of 10, counter will get completely blown up. And yeah, it looks like maybe there's some space on the edge, but you're never going to be able to get to the edge because you're always going to get blown up by somebody. And so there's a lot of run plays in the game that is just noise. You just need to ignore all those. Find the inside zones and just stick with them, because if you get a favorable look when you break the huddle, just run your inside zone, and most of the time there'll be some open running lanes. And of course right there wasn't a ton of space, but I have the defense on random coverage, and the vast majority of the time there will be a huge hole for you to run through, and you should, for the most part, have a ton of success running inside zones in shotgun formations. And real quick, guys, if you're tired of losing games, then you can get things turned around right now by joining our community of over 1,000 winning members at PlaybookProfessor.gg. 97% of our members say they win more games after signing up, so whether you're looking for new schemes, advanced tips, or an active community of other college football players just like yourself, PlaybookProfessor.gg has exactly what you need to win more games. Don't forget to use code SPRUCE to get 30% off at checkout on both monthly and yearly memberships. So I hope to see you guys over there, and now back to the video. Now at number 3, shotgun handoffs are better from the quarterback's throwing side. And so for this, we are going into offense-only practice mode. I want you guys to look at this run play from the right side, which is the quarterback's throwing hand side, and the left side, which is the quarterback's non-throwing hand side. And so there are two things that make these shotgun run plays better from the quarterback's throwing hand side. The first thing is that the handoff animation is just a little bit faster, and it's going to be a little bit tough for you to tell, but I want you guys to watch this handoff from the right side a couple times, and then we'll watch it from the left side. And so I'm going to flip the play now, and I want you guys to look at it. And we are talking tenths of a second difference, but it does make a difference. It definitely makes a difference. And tenths of a second in football make all the difference in the world. And so from the non-throwing hand side, which is in this case the left side, the handoff animation is longer. But there's a second reason why these shotgun run plays are better from the quarterback's throwing hand side, and that is you can take control of your running back much faster. And so that's going to be important for cutting inside, cutting outside, and just making defenders miss. From the quarterback's throwing hand side, you can pretty much instantly take control of your running back, while from the non-throwing hand side, there's going to be about a half-second delay before you can take control of your running back. And so to demonstrate that, I'm just going to hold the left stick straight up when I snap this ball, and look at how quickly I can cut straight up the field. I can snap it, and I can instantly run straight into the center. That's just holding my left stick straight up. Now, if we were to do this from the other side, and I'm holding my left stick straight up, this time, what you're going to see is that we end up running between the guard and the tackle. In both cases, I was just holding my left stick straight up. But when the run is from the quarterback's non-throwing hand side, what happens is he kind of gets stuck running in the direction of the run for about a half second. See right there? I am not in control yet, even though the running back already has the ball. And then eventually, now I take control and I can cut straight up. But when we do this from the right side, I get control instantly and I can cut straight up. If you look at the replay, you will see that the very moment the running back gets the ball, you have total control. Like right here, my left stick is pointed straight up, and guess what? Instantly, I'm still taking the handoff, and I'm already turning with my running back and going straight up the field. And so this is a small tip, but this absolutely makes a huge difference. And so the lesson here is if you're in a situation where you need your run play to get you yards, you need the best version of the run possible, always run it from the quarterback's throwing hand side, which in most cases will be the right side. But if you have a left-handed quarterback, then of course you would want to run all your runs starting on the left side. And so, like I said, it's a very small, very simple tip, but it makes all the difference for getting the best handoff animations possible in College Football 26. Now at number 4, use drop plays to punish opponents who drop everyone into coverage. Now there's a popular type of defense online that looks something like this. People will be in something like a cover 4 drop, they'll pinch their D-line, they'll slant inside, maybe they'll even show blitz with their linebackers, and they'll hover in the middle right here. And so if you try to pass, obviously they have the whole field blanketed in coverage. And so the obvious thing would be to just run the ball against it. But if you run an inside zone, well, guess what? Inside zone actually isn't even going to do very well against this because there's not really a whole lot of running room in the middle. And so if you can't run the ball against this and you can't throw against it, it can feel very helpless. You might be wondering, what the heck do you do? And that's where the halfback draw comes in. There are plenty of halfback draws in every single playbook. And if your opponent is doing something like we just looked at, where they're pinching their D-line, slant inside, and even hovering right here with their user, then the halfback draw is going to obliterate them. We can go ahead and run the ball right here with a halfback draw. And you see, we get a nice 9-yard gain. And I think everyone knows how a halfback draw works. We can look at the replay real quick. Because of the halfback draw being a delayed handoff, the defenders in the zone coverage are going to all kind of drop back, or at the very least, they're going to stand flat-footed. They're not going to attack down on the run. And so if your opponent is running something like this, where they're pinching and slanting inside, you're going to have all the space in the world to bounce that run to the outside, and then there is a ton of running room in front of you. And so to find halfback draws in your playbook, the easiest way to do that is to simply go to the play type. So we go back out, go to play type right here, and just go to run, and then there will be an option for draw. And you can see all the different runs, and there are halfback draws, and there are even QB draws as well. And as a quick side note, just a little nugget for you guys, if you see the yellow lines on a draw play, that means it is a runoff. That means your receivers, rather than trying to block, they're going to do runoffs, and they'll pull the defenders back with them. So we can actually go ahead and we'll do the QB draw here and gun empty base, and we'll go ahead and call that same thing, that cover forward drop. And so this time, let's say your opponent is spreading their D-line because obviously there's no running back. They're not worried about the run. Well, the draw here is going to work just as well. You snap the ball, and after a quick delay, there's going to be a ton of running room, and make sure you slide. That was a nice 5-yard gain with the quarterback. You don't want to get your quarterback killed. But as you can see, the draw is still a great way to run the ball against this defense. So whether it is a halfback draw or a QB draw, you want to use draw plays to attack people who are dropping everyone into coverage, because they will not have a great answer for it. Now at number 5, don't hold the sprint button until you find your running lane. This tip is tough to demonstrate in practice mode, but every top college football player and top Madden player all agree if you slam the sprint button behind the line of scrimmage, you will not be running the ball as effectively as possible. And there are 2 big reasons for that. The first reason that pretty much everyone universally agrees on is that if you don't hold the sprint button behind the line of scrimmage, your running back will be running slower, and it'll give you more time to process where the running lanes are opening up. And then once you identify that running lane, then you can burst through the hole and get into the secondary. That's something that pretty much everyone agrees on. Now, the other reason that not everyone agrees on is the belief that if you hit the sprint button behind the line of scrimmage, it will actually cause the D-line to shed their blocks faster. Now, some people say this only happens in real games and not in practice mode. It is a little tough to find hard evidence that this is the case, but anecdotally, pretty much all top players agree that if you hit the sprint button too soon, you will see defenders shed their blocks faster. So whether or not you believe that second reason, you absolutely, for that first reason, which is simply identifying the running lanes, you should always be trying to not hold the sprint button until you cross the line of scrimmage and you have identified your running lane. Now at number 6, this is how to easily dive over the goal line. This is a trick that everybody should know, and it's going to make it way easier for you to convert your drives into touchdowns when you get down near the goal line. Some people call this the Dolphin Dive, the Superman Dive, whatever you want to call it. It's going to have your running back going up and over the O-line and the D-line and into the end zone. Now this does not work every time. I would say this has about a 50% success rate. And so as long as you practice it and can get it working half the time, then that's going to be pretty good. Because if you get 2 runs, then you're pretty much guaranteed to get the animation at least one of the times and get into the end zone. And so this is what it's going to look like. And then we'll talk about how to do it. And so that's what's going to look like right there. Now, what are the steps to do this? So we are first going to be pointing and holding our left stick straight up. We're going to be holding the sprint button, which is the right trigger or R2. And we're going to be pressing and holding the dive button when we get down near the 1-yard line. And the dive button is going to be X on Xbox or square on PlayStation. And so we're going to go through a few reps of this real quick. And we'll try to get this to trigger every time. But like I said, it's about 50% success rate. So we will probably have some unsuccessful reps. Like right there, we got hit before the dive. There's nothing you can do about that. That's just kind of the nature of it. If there's a defender in your way, then obviously the animation cannot trigger. And right there, they just didn't block for us at all. So that is going to happen. But the majority of the time, if you can get a clean takeoff, you will get up and over into the end zone. And when it works, it really is a thing of beauty. You can see that you just go up and over and just clean into the end zone. And it's pretty awesome. Now, the play that I'm using for this is halfback sting. Don't do this with halfback dive. It ends up being much tougher to get a clean takeoff animation with halfback dive. But with halfback sting, it was halfback sting, and I'm flipping the play to make it go to the right. With halfback sting, it seems to actually give us a pretty good chance of getting that really nice takeoff animation. And so that is how to dolphin dive over the line. And like I said, it's a trick that once you master it, it's going to help you convert way more drives into touchdowns. Now, moving on to number 7, always flip your run plays with the right stick to give yourself a numbers advantage. Now, I realize this is a very beginner tip, but you'd be surprised how many people don't do this consistently. And so right here, we are running a halfback stretch, but we can see that on the right side, there are a lot of defenders over there to match up with our blockers. If we go ahead and snap this ball, we are not really going to have a whole lot of space to do anything. But all we have to do in this case is recognize that on the left side, there's a lot of running room over there. If we just take our right stick and flick it to the left, now our run is going to the left. If we go ahead and snap this ball, we now all of a sudden have a ton of running room. I mean, that's an easy, that ended up being a 10 or 11 yard gain. And sometimes it might go for even more if that receiver can make his block out there. And so while this is a super simple tip, you need to always be looking at the defense. And the best way to do this is imagine drawing a vertical line straight through the middle of the field and counting the number of defenders on the right and defenders on the left. And you of course want to run to where there are fewer defenders. Now, of course, the number of blockers you have also plays a factor, but in this particular case, there are so few defenders on the left side that I'm always going to be flicking my right stick to the left and running this to the left side because there's just so much open running room over here. And so again, I know this is a very simple tip, but you need to be doing this on every run play. If you are under center or in pistol, look at the defense, count the number of defenders on each side. And if you have a numbers advantage to the other side from where you're currently running, just flick your right stick in that direction and run away from where the defenders are, and you will have way more successful run plays as a result. And finally, at number 8, use speed options to score easy touchdowns. Speed options are one of the easiest ways to punch the ball into the end zone when you get down near the goal line. And right here, I'm in the play speed option in the formation gun normal Y off weak. And this is one of our short yardage plays from our BYU offense game plan on PlaybookProfessor.gg. Now, the most important thing on every speed option is to identify the pitch key defender before the snap. And that pitch key defender will have a P icon above his head. That defender is going to determine if and when we pitch the ball to the running back. Now, 9 times out of 10, that pitch key is going to fly in at the quarterback. And so you need to be ready to pitch the ball right away. And we pitch the ball by pressing LB or L1. In the rare event where that pitch key slides outside to guard the running back, then you just keep the ball at the quarterback and run straight and try to get as many yards as you can. But I have the defense here in random defense, so we're going to get different looks every single time. And I just want to run through some reps with you guys. So if we go ahead and snap the ball, read the pitch key, and he commits to the quarterback. So we press LB or L1, pitch the ball out to our running back, and that is an easy touchdown. And so once again, the defensive end is the pitch key, and most of the time it'll be a defensive end who is the pitch key. And once again, he commits on the quarterback, pitch the ball out to the running back, and we have an easy touchdown. And same thing once again, defensive end, commits to the quarterback, pitch it. I probably cut it a little bit too close right there in terms of the pitch, but we still got the ball off. Again, we don't want to risk fumbling by pitching it too late. And you can see that we are very consistently getting the 2 yards that we need to get the ball into the end zone. And so I think speed options are one of the absolute best ways to score when you get down to the goal line. We'll do one more rep right here. And once again, just pitch it out to him. The blocks hold super well, and we are walking into the end zone. And so use speed options. It will make life way easier when you get down inside the 5-yard line and you just need to finish off your drive with a touchdown. So those are 8 secrets to master the run game in college football 26. And if you guys have other run game secrets that I didn't cover, then definitely share them in the comments below. If you learned something new, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so that we know you want to see more videos just like this one. But thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.